Please let me go to hell.
I'm about to go out, but I had to make this video before I leave. Also, y'all never really get to see my body. Yeah, I'm fine as fuck, if you didn't already know. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know why Christians have this mindset of, I have to save everyone. Let us go to hell. Let us burn. Why are you so gung-ho on doing this to the point to where you feel the need to push it on people, hurt people, kill people, just because you have to learn about God? I don't fucking care. Just stop. Y'all always trying to convert a motherfucker. Doesn't it say in your religious text to leave people alone if they don't want to listen to you? Did y'all miss that part? If hell is where I'm destined to go, let me go. Just let me go. Because let me tell you something. This shit, this earth shit, yeah, this is hell. I can deal with anything if I can deal with this. And I've said this before, if hell is the place where all of the free thinkers are, the people that question shit, the people that don't just blindly follow things, send me to hell. That's where I want to go. Let me go, please. Your religion is dying and you're trying to fix that by converting every single person that you see. You ain't gotta save everybody, Susan. Let them go. Let them go. The way I see it, either I'm right and none of this shit is real, I'm wrong and there's a completely other God that none of us have been talking about, or I'm wrong, and this Christian God has actually been sitting here watching these atrocities happen without doing anything to stop them and sending people to hell who complain about it. So I'll go to hell happily. And I might spit in his fucking face if I see his ass. If he has the audacity to be real, I have some fucking words for him. Leukemia, my guy? Like, really? Homelessness, starvation, murder? You just had to create all those things? Fuck you! Go ahead and send my ass on to hell because you're not gonna get one lick of peace if I am in heaven with you. I'm asking questions every single day for the rest of eternity, bitch, and you better have some motherfucking answers for me. He better not be real, I'll tell you that much.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. And peace and blessings to the elect. And this video is going to be a response to a video that was done by the elder Manata Zakba, called or titled, one second, Please Let Me Go to Hell. Okay, Please Let Me Go to Hell. Now, in this video, basically, what I'll try to do in the after edit is to just play that first part, okay, of what this woman was saying before this video starts, and you can basically hear it for yourself. And you know, it's just truly a sign that we are living in the last days. You know, similar to how the world was in a state that was completely displeasing to the Lord. All right, prior to him bringing the deluge, all right, or the flood. Back then, the world is in a much worse state now. Okay, and the fact that people are comfortable, a woman at that, right, comfortable enough to speak, you know, in this disrespectful manner against the Most High, that's ultimately because they have not seen the judgment of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. Now, and there are many examples in the scriptures like this, numerous ones. And even when you think back to Pharaoh, okay, now, you know, when you compare Pharaoh, right, like Pharaoh, one could argue that Pharaoh had a more of a case to be proud than this woman here, right? Because in Pharaoh's case, he's actually, you know, like a ruler of, and remember at the time of Moses, Egypt was the place, you know, it was like the world superpower, like it was up there. And so Pharaoh's ruling over all these people, you know, he's basically worshipped, you know, and all of these things. And so when Moses came to Pharaoh and he's telling him, look, you know, the Most High, Yahweh, right, Bahasham Yahushai says, let my people go. Pharaoh's response is, well, who the hell is the Most High that I should, you know, listen to him, right? Now, even in Pharaoh's pride, he was humbled, okay? He was humbled so much so that, you know, he feared the Most High. He said basically, you guys go and you do your sacrifice to the Lord and then pray for me also. Because that's how much he got humbled. And the reason why the Most High, you know, or at least one of the reasons why the Most High doesn't just strike people right when they start going off is because he understands with how easily it is for him to humble you. Okay, he's known as the king of terrors for a reason, and what you're doing now is like you're pretty much, like poking a sleeping bear, or what's that? Poking at a hornet's nest, and you're gonna get stung. You're gonna get, and here's the thing, here's the thing about this hornet: you can poke the nest, and it's not gonna come out, and you're gonna think, okay, that's the end of that, so you're gonna go. But that when it does come out, it's gonna come find you. All of them, they're gonna come find you. It's not gonna be, oh, you poked it and then because you poked it, it woke up right then and there and it stung you. But you ran out of the range, and so no. This hornet that you're poking, it's gonna come find you when it wakes up, and it's gonna sting the shit out of you. So let me actually start off with, and like I said, these people that were humbled, the Most High put that fear upon them. These were men, and it takes less, to break a woman than it does a man, and that's just by design. Okay, so now, like I said, I want to start off here with the book of Hebrews chapter 10, verse 31. Now I've heard that, if I die, I die, that kind of talk, but to say, please let me go to hell, man, shit, you do not know what you're asking for. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 31, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. And what you're doing is you're tempting the hand of the Lord, where you're blatantly disrespecting the Lord. I mean, the scriptures tell you that the angels tremble in his presence. Do you understand what that means? And let me put it in perspective for you. We're talking about the same angels. Let me put it in an even better perspective for you. Today, people are more timid and more afraid than they were in the ancient world. Number one. In the ancient world, they had more grit. They were stronger. They had more of a stomach. They could stomach more things. And plus, in the ancient world, they were exposed to actual spiritual and supernatural things. So it wasn't, something that would come as a complete shock if they saw an angel or a spirit or something of that nature, as it would be now. Okay, so now put that in perspective and then say, and even back then, when they were exposed to these things already, when these men saw angels, they trembled. They were afraid. Okay, just at the sight, at the appearing of the angels. And those angels tremble in the presence of the Lord, the Most High. Okay, so that's the power that you're dealing with. And to speak like she did in that video only goes to show that they don't know the Lord. That's why they don't fear him. They haven't seen and understood why he is referred to as the King of Terrors. Right? Either they haven't been exposed to it, they haven't read it, or even if they read it, they just didn't believe it. So it's not real to them. And if it's not real, then, hey, they can say whatever they want, right? But guess what? That hell is coming. She gonna jump up and talk about, you haven't seen my body yet? Well, I'm fine as fuck. Okay, well, guess what? There's a whole lot of people that when all hell breaks loose, they're gonna be looking for fine as fuck women. And they're gonna be coming looking for you. and remember, man's goings are of the Lord, right? The Most High directeth the steps of everyone. And he might direct your steps across the wrong street at the wrong time, and you're gonna get judged. Okay? Or he might have mercy on you, but that's up to the Most High. But I mean, when you speak like that, you definitely need to be humbled. Even if on a wild chance somebody like that was of the elect, and this is just the state they were in prior to to the Lord having mercy on them. Guess what? How would the Lord have mercy on you? He would have to humble you, and when he humbles you, you would repent. And it's that humbling that's where the fear comes in. So now I want to get this account here, which I think is a very good. It's a very good chapter, 2nd Maccabees chapter 9, as it gives a good perspective on how easily the Lord can really bring his fear upon anybody. Okay, even the most proud, hard-headed, stiff-necked, person that thinks they're untouchable can be humbled easily. Now, this is the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 9. And it's dealing with Antiochus Epiphanes, really his death. Now, Antiochus he was one of the Greek, one of the kings of the Grecian Empire, and at least, to be more specific, of the Seleucid Empire. Now, this man he probably got to be one of the proudest of his line. He thought so highly of himself that he got the epithet, um, uh, Idiohos Epiphanes, which is Antiochus Epiphanes, which is God manifest. All right, I think this is yeah, yeah. You can look up the details on it, but anyway, this guy magnified himself to be like almost on the level of a god. He thought he was untouchable. Okay, and so let's read what happened to him. Verse 1, 2 Maccabees 9 and 1. About that time Antiochus with dishonor out of the country of Persia, for he had entered the city called Persepolis, and went about to rob the temple, and to hold the city, whereupon the multitude running to defend themselves with their weapons, put them to flight. And so it happened that Antiochus, being put to flight of the inhabitants, returned with shame. So he basically went to try and pillage some other temple, as he had done ours. And when he went there, his army was put to flight, and so he was ashamed. Verse 3, now when he came to Ecbatane, news was brought him what had happened to Nicanor and Timotheus. Then, swelling with anger, he thought to avenge upon the Jews the disgrace done unto him by those that made him flee. So he was pissed off, and he was going to take his anger out on Jake. Therefore commanded he his chariot man to drive without ceasing, and to dispatch the journey. So, it's like today, if you're in a cab and you tell to do step, pedal to the metal. No, don't stop at no red lights, just go. It says here, and to dispatch the journey, the judgment of God now following him. For he had spoken proudly in this sort, that he would come to Jerusalem and make it a common burying place of the Jews. So he was talking, hot. He's gonna come. The thing he's gonna do to the Israelites over there, he's gonna, turn it into a burying place. He's just gonna violate it, disregarding the God because he's like, and matter of fact, let's keep reading. It says, but the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, smote him with an incurable and invisible plague. And that's another thing. Where do you think diseases come from? She was complaining about things, leukemia and a few of these, right? Talking about, really? You realize that the Most High didn't just create diseases and just say, here, you just going, you have some, oh, you can have some just for fun. And it's always interesting when people talk like this, because they absolve humanity of the wickedness that they've done. They fail to realize that these problems are consequences for actions. Okay, when you read the scriptures, diseases, famines, pestilence, they're listed as forms of judgment that come upon people when they don't obey the Heavenly Father. Why is that so? How does that make you evil? As a matter of fact, when you have a child, or you have somebody that's under your roof or under your guidance, you have rules. Everybody has boundaries. They have rules. They have some things that they're like, some line that they're like, don't cross this or do this. It's just law. Everything that has laws has consequences. Meaning, what happens if you don't follow these laws? Okay? What happens if you try to disregard the laws of gravity and jump off of a roof? You're going to die or get very badly injured. Consequences. But if you had a child, you would have rules. You would say, don't do this. If you do this, I'm gonna ground you. If you do, if you don't do this, I'm gonna take away this, or I'm not gonna give you this, or I'm gonna whoop your ass. Well, guess what? The Lord's version of that is leukemia and all the different diseases and famines and all of those things. That's how he punishes you for doing the wrong thing. But you're getting mad talking about, really? Because ultimately they don't understand how judgment works. Okay? So that's one thing that you forget about. Diseases come from the Lord. And so when you sit there and talk proudly, right? Talk no more proudly, but they continue to do so. You forget that the Most High can literally hit you with a disease where he can hit you with cancer. He can hit you with something worse. He can make you lose all your hair. You know, he can make it to where you get breast cancer, and then they got to take out your titties, your breasts, and you're not gonna be jumping on camera saying I'm fine as fuck anymore. You know, he can make it to where you get an infection in your ass, and now they got to cut off one of your ass cheeks, and then the other one, and now you're looking all messed up. You lost all your hair. You look bald. You lost your chest, your chest pleasers or whatever, and now you look deformed, and you're in pain. See, that's one thing that it doesn't matter who you are, what you do, what you say. Pain and suffering will humble you, and that's why they're there. They're there as like a mechanism to alert you, to let your body know what's up, but they're also there to humble you. Pain and suffering will humble you. And everybody at some point, you're going to hit your breaking point. So, the Lord knows it's a very easy thing. He knows what strings to pull, how to do it. That's why you have people that say whatever they want to say, but nothing happens to them right away because the Lord knows when it's time, it's going to be so easy. Like, I don't got to, do anything crazy and you're already going to be done. And you best believe you're going to understand why it is written in Hebrews 10:31 that it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. You will understand that. You worried about a place where you burn forever, and you'll find out. Yeah, you said it, here on earth is hell. You'll find out which part, why that is, why that's true. Anyway, let's keep on going. So, verse 5, but the Lord Almighty, God of Israel, smote him with an incurable and invisible plague. And that's, see that part right there? You're suffering without end. Where it gets so bad that you'd rather die. Do you know how much people love their lives? And when I say that, I mean, not that you may have somebody that hates the way they're living, but they fear dying even more. So when I say people love their lives, that's what I mean. So do you know how much they do? And so imagine how much suffering you have to be in to where you actually wish you were dead. That's like unimaginable pain. And that's the thing that people always seem to forget that this is a real thing until it hits them. And then it's like, damn, then they get that clarity, like, what the hell was I thinking? But they need these kinds of eye-opening events to sort of paint that clear picture in their minds as to this is why you fear the Most High. Do you understand now, child? Anyway, so it says here, so it was an incurable and invisible plague. It doesn't matter what doctor you go, you're done. Where we at? Or as soon as he had spoken these words, a pain of the bowels that was remediless came upon him. So out of nowhere, his insides, just straight pain. Imagine if you're like, if somebody was inside of your stomach and they grabbed your intestines and they tied it up, twisted it. You just feeling all kinds of pain. It says that was remediless came upon him and sore torments of the inner parts. And that most justly, for he had tormented other men's bowels with many and strange torments. Howbeit he nothing at all ceased from his bragging. So he was tough. He was a tough cookie, huh? Here it is. Most High struck him with that plague and he ain't stopped. But still was filled with pride, breathing out fire in his rage against the Jews, and commanding to haste the journey. So he's in pain, but he's like, "Fuck that, man! Take me there. I want to, unleash this pain on him." But that's because he was in the initial pain. It says here, haste the journey, but it came to pass that he fell down from his chariot, and carried violently, so that having a sore fall, all the members of his body were much pained. So after he fell, now his whole body, because imagine you fall off of a chariot after going that fast. Kind of like almost like jumping out of a car that's going full speed. Or jumping out of a truck that's going full speed. Anyway, verse 8. And thus he that a little afore thought he might command the waves of the sea, So proud was he beyond the condition of man, and weighed the high mountains in a balance, now cast on the ground and carried in a horse litter, shewing forth unto all the manifest power of God. See? So the Lord made an example out of him to show his power. But there's more. So that the worms rose out of the body of this wicked man. And whilst he lived in sorrow and pain, his flesh fell away, and the filthiness of his smell was noisome to all his army. Can you imagine that? You're here now, and you got worms actually coming out of your body while you're alive. Your skin is basically decomposing, and you can smell the rotten flesh. Like what the man? And you're alive, and you're in pain, and nobody can stand the smell, as it says. And the man that thought a little afore, so just a little bit before that same day, he thought he could reach the stars of heaven. No man could endure to carry for his intolerable stink. And you know why they freeze corpse until like the burial and stuff, and why they bury it underground? Because when you leave that body and it starts to decompose, the smell is terrible. Okay, it's absolutely terrible. So now imagine that. And soldiers, they follow their orders. But how bad did this smell have to be to where they're like, hey, I'm sorry, boss, but damn. I'd rather you execute me, or I lose my job, because this is just too much. Verse 11, here therefore, being plagued, he began to leave off his great pride, and to come to the knowledge of himself by the scourge of God, his pain increasing every moment. Damn. So not only is he in pain, but the pain is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. It's like if somebody has you by a sensitive position, and they're squeezing and squeezing and squeezing and squeezing some more. And that ain't feeling too good, right? So it says he began to leave off that pride, because now he reached his breaking point. Consequences. So now he's feeling that pain. Now he's understanding very well, why it is that he should not have been proud. Now he's understanding the fear of the Lord. He probably understood it so well. He probably could have taught Israelites the fear of the Lord. That's how bad it was. How bad he was suffering. Where we at? Right, verse 12. And when he himself could not abide his own smell, he said these words. This proud devil, who thought himself to be on the level of God, talking all that shit, this is now what he said. It is meet to be subject unto God. When they say it is meet, it means it's good. Okay? It is good. In fact, it is very good to be subject unto God. And that a man that is mortal should not proudly think of himself as if he were God. You hear that? Let alone speak against the Most High. A man, how much less a woman? This wicked person vowed also unto the Lord, who now no more would have mercy upon him. See? You're now, when you're past the point of the Lord having mercy, now you want mercy. But the Lord he ain't having it. And the Most High, like the scriptures say, is not a man that he should repent. So once the verdict is out, it's out. And that's the man, people don't understand. They don't understand. Anyway, saying thus, that the holy city, to which he was going in haste to lay even with the ground, and to make it a common burying place, he would set at liberty. They don't have to pay. They don't gotta pay taxes. They don't gotta pay nothing. They'll be free. They're good. And as touching the Jews, whom he had judged not worthy, so much as to be buried, but to be cast out with their children to be devoured of the fowls and wild beasts, he would make them all equals to the citizens of Athens. So these people that he was just saying, look, kill their ass and throw their body somewhere. He said, no, I'll give them the highest status in my kingdom. And the holy temple, which before he had spoiled, he would garnish with goodly gifts, and restore all the holy vessels with many more. And out of his own revenue, defray the charges belonging to the sacrifices. I mean, he's saying he'll do anything pretty much at this point. Yea, and that also he would become a Jew himself, and go through all the world that was inhabited, and declare the power of God. This guy was going to become a missionary, you know, a Christian apologist. Because now, so imagine how much pain he's in. He's a king, right? He's a whole king of all this whole region. Didn't disregard us for anything. I mean, look at the atrocities he committed. And now, with the Most High turned the heat up on his ass a little bit, and he's saying, look, I'll even become a Jew, and I'll go around the whole world proclaiming your power. This is a heathen saying this. And like I said, back then, man, you know, people were built different, but can you imagine then what state people are going to be in now? If the Most High even put a fraction of this hell on you? And now you're talking so proudly, you've basically put a target on your back. And you see, you will become a believer, but it'll just be the hard way. Anyway, verse 18, but for all this his pains would not cease, for the just judgment of God was come upon him. Therefore, despairing of his breath, he wrote unto the Jews the letter underwritten, containing the form of a supplication after this manner. And then he goes on and basically lists all the good things that he's going to do and all of that. But this is basically the part that I want to, just wanted to highlight. And concluding the lesson, all right, I want to say that these accounts show you why the Most High is known as the King of Terrors. And reading about somebody's experience is one thing. Experiencing it for yourself is another. So don't get on camera talking shit against the Most High. Because you don't know what you're asking for when you say, please let me go to hell. You will go to hell. The Most High will show you what that hell is like if he doesn't have mercy on you. And when you find that feeling, you're going to realize the stupidity in those words. Okay? Because you're asking for something that you don't know what it's like. You haven't even experienced before. And it's always one thing. It's like, saying that you can survive a famine when you got food in your fridge. I guarantee you won't say the same thing when you've gone 3-4 days without food and water and you don't have access to any. See? So, as the saying goes, experience is the best teacher. And then that's why Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to bring a great experience for these people here today. Anyway, with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Recha, Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.